enter the circus, the true crime YouTube scene, where drama's the star and the facts aren't so clean. She's on her channel, she's screaming with flair. J Ducks, poor Nana, her address is bare. The drama volcano, it's ready to blow. Subs grab their popcorn for the Crama show. It's Crama's true crime circus, round and round we go. Not much truth, just trauma, stealing all the show. Narcissism, borderline, maybe psychopathy, fueling all the chaos in this YouTube spree.
All right, everybody, welcome. I hope you guys are doing very well today. I'm doing great. And of course, you can tell when I'm not at work and I'm in a hotel room with no kinds of obligations or responsibilities, then I can make my YouTube videos like I wish. But unfortunately, I work a lot and I'm on a little bit of a vacation right now. So it's been really great. One of the things that I've been doing when I've not been with my grandbabies is going over the Crimecon videos that are coming out by various channels, right? And so I was watching Every Day with Jay. Well, several different people have videos up of Crimecon, like Hella Excited Utterances. She's got like Dolly Talks. He's there at Crimecon. So Scott Reich, there are people that are there. And so you're getting just some conversational kind of videos and covering people who are in attendance and things like that. So there's been a bit of drama. JLR stirred up a little more of his stuff, which I found to be psychologically uninteresting. And it was uninteresting because it was so dramatically predictable. Just him being able to take the opportunity to sort of come face to face with people that talked about the Magnolia JLR domestic violence case, or I guess you call it restraining order case. And so that's pretty predictable, right? So there's been things that have happened that have been fairly predictable. Even another little bit, and that is Trisha sitting at the slot machine, zoned out. Like she is so locked in on that machine that she has no awareness of her surroundings, so much so that YouTubers can just walk up around her and video her and she has no awareness. I can't even imagine being that zoned out. Like, it's a bit hard to explain, and I may show that little portion of the video. I may not, I'm not sure. I kind of had a bit of a empathetic moment, right? But the takeaway is this: when you're there and you're gambling, well, usually when you go to a gamble boat or you're at a casino or whatever, you've got people with you, right? People are with you and you're chattering and you're talking and you're having fun playing. And that is not what was going on. She was completely alone, sitting at the machine, and her eyes never wavered off the machine. She didn't move a muscle, as far as I could tell, the whole time that she was that the video was recording her. She's just like a frozen statue. And I thought, oh, this is, this doesn't look good. But anyway, I did feel bad. I felt sad about the situation. But here's a perplexing moment. Here's something that psychologically blew my mind. Okay? It blew my mind. And I said, okay, this is worthy of a comment or two. Not a long, lengthy, big deal, but I was quite surprised, I guess. So let's take a look at my shocking, perplexed moment. Now, the reason that this screen is so teeny tiny, and look, I have a touch screen and I have it blown up as far as the touch screen will allow it to blow up. And then I'm also zoomed in as far as I can. This is Every Day with Jay, and somebody else has her phone, or I'm sorry, she's recording. Someone else has their phone and they put it in front of her camera. So it's not Jay's video. Someone else, and I don't even think Jay was looking. I think she was talking she was with a lot of people. And I think she was talking to other people, and maybe her phone was on a triad or something. But nonetheless, somebody else had a phone and they put it in front of this camera. And this is basically Lauren and John Matthias. Okay. And they're talking to some tall, blonde headed lady. So they're at the bottom of the escalators. If you go up the escalators, you go into Crimecon. So they're at the bottom of the escalators. They're not in the venue. They are in Caesar's Palace, but they're not up in the actual convention venue. And I thought John Matthias's body language was so interesting. This was unexpected. So let me go here. Okay, so you're going to see, this is whoever's phone this is, they're just recording. And then someone else sticks a phone in front of it. And that's where you see John and Lauren. And the interesting thing is John Matthias's body language. Okay, so let me play this first regular.
So
they're all just like talking. There's a whole bunch of people.
Absolutely. Show them.
Okay, now when it first starts,
Aspen, yes,
right there, what do you notice about him? He's looking. Now, Lauren is oblivious. Lauren is like, oh, it's one of my fans. I'm so loved, right? John is standing dutifully by. He's the faithful, loyal husband. He's right at her back, protective, right? He's doing that whole thing, okay? He's looking at the person recording. He knows that they are recording. Now, watch his body language. I just couldn't believe this. Truly, I'm blown away. Let me explain this first. Had this been me and my husband, first of all, I wouldn't care if somebody was recording me. If I'm out in public, I always assume people are recording, right? So you don't care. But if for some reason my husband, maybe he thought there was something threatening, or maybe he would think that this was someone who was not a friend. You know what I mean? Something that was uncomfortable. Let me explain what Bill would have done. Bill would have either walked straight to the person with the phone. Like, there'd have been no hesitation on his part. He would have approached them and said, what exactly are you doing? Like, why are you recording us? Is there a problem? Do you want to talk to my wife? Like, what's happening here? He just would have been like, not aggressive. Well, he may have been aggressive, but not aggressive or mean, but just inquisitive. And the other thing he may have done, if he somehow thought that the person was not friendly, he just would have stepped up and blocked the person from recording me. Like, he would have just put himself in between the person recording and me, right? There in essence, I have no doubt in my mind his actions would have been protective. Does that make sense? So it's strange. This reaction here is something that I would not have expected from a learned, intelligent person who makes a living talking to people. Okay? The second thing it didn't match with, it just didn't match with my own personal experience. My dad, very protective man, very confident man. He would have laid down his life to protect anyone in his family, especially me. I was the little, my name for my dad was Little Doll. I was the daughter that the little princess that he protected, right? My husband, same persona. My younger brother, same exact thing. Just the men in my family are just protective. They're lighthearted guys. They're funny. They're outgoing. They like to have a good time. But there is this underlying awareness that I'm protected. Like I know that there's people that love me and that they would do something to help me and protect me, right? This is so weird what you're about to see. This reaction is just mind-boggling to me. Again, because he is very well, here's another thing. He's very well educated, college football player? It just wasn't, this is very curious to me. All right, so let's watch it because it's very weird. Watch John. Lauren doesn't do anything interesting. She's just basking in her glory, excited to have a fan talking to her, right? That's it. But watch him because that's the interesting reaction.
Absolutely. Show them. Look at Joe. Look at Beavis. He looks like Beavis with his socks and shoes.
Look at him. Look what he
said,
does. Oh my God. And look at Lauren. Lauren turns around and looks at him like, where are you going? Like, why have you moved away and you're now looking at your feet? Well, I mean, he's not technically looking at his feet, but do you see how strange? Is that me being weird? Is he scared of her? Is he scared of being filmed? Was he trying to move away, hoping that he wouldn't be captured in the same footage as his wife? What is happening here? Can you guys explain this to me? I'm gonna slow this down because this is so curious to me. And I'm going to have to mute it because okay, let's watch this in slow motion. And I want somebody to explain his reaction. He knows he's being recorded. He's looking dead on at him. Now he looks over there and he's working out in his mind how to react. I thought he was approaching the camera. No. He's literally getting away from Lauren. Holy shit. And he's looking down. He's looking, his body language becomes one of a chastised child. I'll tell you what, this YouTube sphere, people control their lighting, they control filters, they put makeup on, they wear certain clothing. The setting that you guys see us in is so controlled, even for people that don't have support. I don't have a single person that does anything with me. Not people don't provide me content. I don't have an audio guy. I don't have a video guy. It's just what you see is what you get. But I have a filter because I got wrinkles, and I make sure I put some makeup on. And, usually I make a video when I'm at work, so I've got nice clothes on. But what about these big YouTubers? They are so produced. Like every factor is controlled before the camera ever starts running. And make no mistake about it, they're choosing specifically which camera that they're using, because different cameras distort in different ways, right? So the image that they wish to project is cultivated. It's engineered. Like they're using lighting and makeup, the props, the whole thing, to have a certain appearance, right? Just as surely as CNN or any other news station would do. They're controlling what they put out there. And when you go over to Hidden True Crime and you watch the chat, you watch the people in the chat, they're always saying things like how John is so protective, and John is taking care of his family, right? That's what they believe they're seeing. And I've been saying a long time ago, Lauren Matthias is wearing the britches in that family. 100%. She is making the rules. Nobody questions them. She even brought in reinforcements through Grayson. Would you move somebody into your house with you, a young woman, someone who's working with you? Would you move them into your house? Hell no. Hell no. You would let's say I hired somebody to work with me and they didn't have a place to live. Rather than disrupt the privacy, the comfort of my children's home, I would go and rent an apartment or rent a hotel room. I would provide appropriate housing for my employee. But appropriate housing is not move into my house, get my same haircut. We're going to coordinate our clothing. I'll teach you how to wear makeup. You can get on the terzepatide shot just like John and me. No way am I going to violate those boundaries of privacy. Absolutely not. The employee requires privacy. They require a protective space to unwind at the end of the day, as me or my child or my husband would require. Correct? And yet, we have Lauren and Grayson skipping around, holding hands, brushing each other's hair, wearing the same clothes, getting the same haircuts. This is, and I kept telling myself, why isn't John like stepping in? Like, why isn't he taking control and trying to make this a healthier situation? Well, Every Day with Jay, I'm talking about the channel, gives us some insight. Here it is, uncurated, unmanaged, unengineered. We get to see the real relationship right here. And do you think a single one of those subscribers will say anything about it? Do you think a single one of those subscribers that swoons over John Matthias and his greatness, do you think a single one of them will stand back and reassess? No, absolutely not, because they're delusional. They believe that they're in a channel with two people that do, and their belief about who Lauren and John are does not match who Lauren and John are in the privacy of their own home. shocking. This is one of the most surprising bits of YouTube footage I've ever seen. Look at this. Look, she is completely oblivious. She is completely oblivious. He, on the other hand, is freaking out. From what, John? What are you freaking out about? You have a channel with 330,000 subscribers, John Matthias. You are at Crimecon. Guess what? Those 300,000 subscribers, those are the people that either go to Crimecon or want to go to Crimecon. So, John, doesn't it make sense that people would be recording you? What's he thinking here? So weird. She is basking in her glory. Look at her. He moves at least 5-6 feet away from her before she notices. Look at this. Watch. Look how long it takes her to notice that he's moved. Oh, wait. Where did my faithful lapdog go? He's scared, Lauren. The only thing that could have been worse would have been if he had gotten behind you, put you in between him and the perceived danger. It's so interesting. Yeah, they're paying your bills. Yeah, right? You're at Crimecon, John. Who do you think is attending Crimecon? Oh, yeah, people that watch YouTube True Crime. Your people, John. These are John Matthias. These are your people. And you know what else? Let me explain something else, John. In including all those 300,000 people that love you, or they love the image, the pretend image of you, you are going to attract attention from people that don't like you. I've been through it. It's not fun. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't try to put them in prison. I did not make up lies about them. That is not what I did. I reached out and I said, I don't think that this person is well. And if you love them, maybe you should get them some help. And thankfully, it ended. That was my story. But I didn't try to make up invented crimes against them. That's what I did not do, John. Such a weird moment, right? What did y'all think of that? I didn't read y'all's comments when I was showing the video, so let me go back and look here. Jenny said he is contemplating his choices in life. Yeah, Jenny, I think you got it. Melissa, maybe it's shame. It looks like shame, doesn't it? Putting his head down, backing away like children should be seen and not heard. It's kind of like the ultimate children should be seen and not heard. Elizabeth says, I think that is Aspen Connor she's talking to. Maybe. Yeah. I think they're good friends. Yeah, I think you're right. That could be who it is. He's distancing himself. He is distancing himself. He doesn't want to be involved in this, you guys. He doesn't want to be involved in all this foolishness. I think he is in misery when he is in front of the camera. I think he hates doing YouTube. But you know what he hates worse than doing YouTube? He hates being broke. He hates not having any money. So Lauren, she stumbled upon YouTube by accident, and she had the skill set, and she was able to engineer a channel, right? But she has dragged him along kicking and screaming, in my opinion. She has dragged him along kicking and screaming. This is not, He would be much happier being a research scientist, spending his days buried in books in the library and churning out research papers and never speaking to another human being. That's what he really wants to do, in my opinion. But they didn't have any money. He didn't have any job. She couldn't get a job. And they said, maybe we can make enough money to buy groceries on YouTube. And because she had that history, she had that skill set, she was able to make a successful channel. Now, make no mistake about it. You go and look at her channel from an analytical perspective, and you can see the big viewing numbers are coming when John Matthias does a video. That's where the greatest concentration of views are at, is for the forensic psychologist. There's not much evidence that is an accurate statement. There's a couple of cases where he submitted an evaluation, a psychological report, and on both of those, he was fighting for a sex offender. He was fighting to help a sex offender, meaning if you're a psychologist and you can't get any work, if you're willing to say whatever a defense attorney wants you to say, they'll hire you. So if you're hurting for money, that'll get you some money coming in, right? But you got to look the other way on some things. Like saying a 19-year-old sex offender is not likely to reoffend. Excuse me? He's surging with testosterone. And there was literally not one thing in your report to suggest that anyone should have an ounce of confidence in the guy. So exactly what are you basing that on? Oh, the paycheck. Okay. So with the whole COVID thing, he was doing evaluations in jails. It's what he said. I don't know this. I would never do a background check on someone. I don't know what the man's resume is. I don't know. He claims that he was doing evaluations for prison. And that, of course, when COVID happened, they closed the prisons down because they didn't want the whole population dying, right, of COVID. And Lauren, around the same time period, Lauren is on a recording saying, I quote, this is a quote, I didn't have a husband who would work. So she was unemployed. This was her story she told. She didn't have a job, couldn't find one. She had a husband who would not work. We know the family history about the dad, so there wasn't any family money to support them. And so she started her YouTube channel. She grabbed onto Kay and Larry Woodcock. She built her channel off of the Vallow Daybell nightmare. And the rest is history. But without him, that channel wouldn't be 300,000. And she knows that, y'all. Look at the views on the videos. Most people don't watch her. But if he's going to be on, if he presents something, they watch him, right? So he doesn't want this. He doesn't want to be included. He doesn't want to have to talk to people and schmooze with people. This is everything he is not. And the minute he saw that camera, he was like, get me. Honestly, the worst thing he could have done would be to get behind her. That would have been the worst. It would have been maybe better, I think, if he had just turned around slowly and wandered away, like away, like into a shop. Oh, I need to go get me a Diet Coke. All right. That probably would have looked more natural. This, I got so many questions. I have so many questions. For example, is he one of those men who is not able to leave? That if he left and went and looked at some stuff in a store, that she would be angry with him? Did she read him the riot act and say, when we're there, don't you leave my side? They're all saying that I'm having affairs. You need to stand by me and support me. Like, what? Why did he just sort of back away 6 feet and then look down at the ground? It's very interesting. Churning out research papers using data from the 80s. Can we get back to Brad Pitt, please? Evident. Can we please get back to Brad Pitt? Okay. I'm a little behind, but his body language screams, I'm not worthy. I'm not important. It does look like he's regret. It is a very confusing reaction from a very learned, a very well-educated man, someone who is clearly intelligent. What's happening here? Why is she the captain of the ship? I'm not sure why John attracts so many viewers. His message is always the same, and I lost interest after watching him half a dozen times. I totally agree, Evident. I could never get into the hidden true crime demeanor. It's just too self-obsessed, maybe. I don't know. I can't even think of another true crime creator that is just so uninteresting. Like, let me think a minute if I can think of anybody. And I'm not talking about drama people. I mean, like true crime. Scott Reich is awesome. Emily D. Baker is great. Nope, can't think of a single one. Let me tell you this. Many years ago, like when they were in up to their eyeballs with the Lori Vallow nightmare. So in my bedroom, I don't have like a regular television. I have a projector TV that projects up on a blank wall. Right. I've kind of decorated around it. So you don't walk in my bedroom and go, oh, wow, that's a large blank wall. I've decorated around it. But when I want to watch TV at night, I turn my projector on, and then I have like a movie, like going to the cinema, like it's a huge screen. Right. And Bill and I used to laugh because I would start watching Hidden True Crime. And then he would be like, what are you watching? Who is that lady? And then I would hit the mute button, right? So there's no sound coming out. And then we would start like having a pretend conversation. Like I would play the role of Lauren. He'd play the role of John. And we'd have an imaginary conversation. I know it's very juvenile, but please understand, I met my husband when we were children. Okay. We went to junior high together. We went to high school together, our college year. Okay. Yes, we do play like kids because I think it's because we have been friends for so long. Right. But anyway, so we would laugh, and he would always ask if she was wearing a mask. And I would say, no, she's not wearing a mask. She's getting fillers. He said, yeah, but that much? Her cheeks look like they're going to explode. And then that it started with the cheeks, right? Getting grossly inflated. But then the eyebrows just got weirder and weirder and weirder. And he would say, turn that funny looking lady on. And the bad thing is that I would know who he was talking about. Yeah, so stupid. It's very juvenile and silly. And yes, we were friends when we were kids. Okay. So I blame it on that. His dad, his dad was actually one of my teachers in high school. And my mom taught him in high school. Yeah, it's a very weird relationship. My older brother dated his older sister. My younger brother and his younger sister also had a period of time dating. It was a weird thing. Clearly, our families have been connected in another life, okay? Because we all liked each other. Like everybody liked each other in our two families. We all related really well and had the same sense of humor and everything. So I had the great fortune of, not only marrying a great provider and someone who is, a great thought, like he's a great dad, the greatest dad and grandpa you'd ever want. But I also married like my best friend. We laugh more than anything else, So that is very fortunate because we've also had bad times, like everybody does. It's a normal thing. So it was a weird thing with our families. We all related well to each other and understood each other, and it was a good thing. Yeah. Anyway, so he would say, let's watch that funny looking lady, and I would know who he was talking about. And I'm going to be fair too, because I want to always be completely above board. I think Lauren is very pretty. I do. I think she's very beautiful, and I think she's maintained her looks. And because she makes money, if you're a television personality, your paycheck is partly based on your appearance. We know that to be true. Okay. So, I'm not being too harsh or unfair in this thing. But man, I just was blown away by this little bit of what looks to be just obscure footage, right? It just looks like an obscure moment of nothing. But then when you actually stop and really zero in, it is very interesting. I also am unsure if he's wearing house shoes. Do you guys think those are house shoes? Now remember, I'm zoomed in as close as I can be, okay? I can't zoom in any closer. Are those house shoes? Yeah, yes, getting Nona. Definitely the procedures have been too much, but don't you think it's better now? Do you think that she's had some of that like melted or whatever it's called when they make the filler dissolved? Don't you think she's had some of that dissolved? I think she looks a little bit better. I mean, she is beautiful, but now she doesn't have that mass caricature that she did during the Valo Day Bell stuff. So, yeah, it looks like house shoes. I don't know. I thought about slides, but then I thought, well, if they're slides, wouldn't his white socks come out the toes? They look like Vans, all black with a white sidewall. Oh, let me take a peek. So you think, okay, so the soles are white right there. And you think this is white up here on the shoe itself? That is not holding his heel in. That would have to be tennis shoe right here. Yeah, that is I don't know. That is weird looking. John, here's a little fashion tip. They do make men's invisible socks. And that looks a lot better when you're wearing the black shoes and shorts. I think your shorts need to be a little bit bigger too. You're looking a little bit like they're wrapped really close to your bird legs. The rubber part is white. Those are his Costco house clothes. Wicked. Your name fits you. It looks like Dollar General Crocs. Fashion crime we're looking at. This is a fashion crime happening live at Crimecon, people. I can't believe John Matthias left the house. You're not quite at that size yet, John. Hey, but you know what? He's making good progress, isn't he? He's making good progress. My husband got new shoes, loafers. I told him Google men's no-show socks. Yeah, 100% Sketty Nona. And they look great. Olaf, hey girl, how are you doing? Welcome. After what Lauren Matthias spends, John is on a Goodwill budget. Random lady, did you see how mad she got when he told her not to buy the sofa? Oh, she was pissed. She was pissed. Okay, thank you, Requiem. Requiem's going to put up a picture of John Matthias's Crimecon shoes. I know, we are so weird. I know we are. John doesn't have any money for John. Well, you want to know something, Lauren, you better watch out with that budget in, because John may refuse to do any more YouTube videos until you start giving him an allowance, girl. So pony up the cash, because he's your cash cow. We can look at your views compared to John's views, and we know where the money's coming from, girl. So if you want to keep your little cash cow dancing and performing, you better give John an allowance. You hear? Y'all are nasty sometimes. Chris McDonough says, don't be nasty sometimes. All right. So John is looking at the camera. He knows he's being recorded. Lauren is basking in the glory of a super fan we think is Aspen Connor in his shorty shorts. He's looking fly. He's very fashionable. All right. Now, he's got the ultimate black socks, black shoes. But, John, you need to go get you some invisible socks. And they make them. And put your shorts up. And in about 20 pounds, they're going to look fly. Okay? In about 20 pounds, you are going to be the dude. And you're going to have to go in the gym and lift those weights. You got to pump that iron. You got to get that muscle up. You need muscle structure when you're on the jab. So get in the gym, buddy. You can do it. We got faith in you. You're going to be looking so good. You're going to be looking so hot. Lauren will give you an allowance, John. I'm certain of it. I feel it in my bones. All right. Maybe, John, what you need to start doing, you need to invoice Warren. You need to send her an invoice for the videos that you do. That is one way that you could fund some nice clothes. Okay? Start invoicing Lauren for your work. And then when you get your paycheck, then you can go to Macy's or Nordstrom's and you can buy you some nice clothes that fit. Okay? All right. Watch one more time and then we'll be done with this nonsense. He's thinking, he's saying, oh shit. They got a camera on me. They don't want to see me. They're here for my lovely, beautiful bride. Let me just step away. Watch him. Olap, you got to come up with the perfect music for this moment in Crimecon history. The perfect moment when Lauren turns to say, "Where is my lap dog? Why did he abandon my side? John, what the hell's wrong with you?" And there it is. All right, Olap, we need the perfect music. All right. I have Carolina, they actually live in Las Vegas. Well, they live in the suburbs of Las Vegas. It's called the Hidden Estate. Is it the Hidden Estate, the Hidden Homestead, the Hidden, what was the name of their place? Hidden, maybe Estate. The Hidden Estate? Is that what it was called? Compound, the Hidden Compound. So, yeah, so they live there, Carolina. They built a house that has a recording studio in it. How is that for narcissistic symbolism? Lauren, I have a recording studio in my home. Yeah, and it didn't cost me any money. I just found a corner in my house. No, it doesn't sound cultish a bit. Not a bit. Have they moved into the new I have no idea, Beach Life. I don't know. It's not my circus, not my monkeys. I don't know. But if I was going to have a place called an estate or a homestead or a compound, my neighbors wouldn't be 50 feet from me. You know what I mean? I'd buy like 50 acres and then build my house on that. They just went into a subdivision and gave it a very, self-absorbed name. Yeah. Homestead. Couldn't live there. No cult for me. No cults for me either. I definitely am I don't have that thing in me. You know what I mean? That thing that attracts people to like the cult mentality. I don't have that. That's not, when I hear people talking, and it can be people that I really admire or people that I think are, honest, good people. If I hear them saying things that just doesn't ring true, in my head, the voice is going, this bullshit, bullshit. It's not there. JLR said he never wears socks, gets his shoes from Walmart, wears them 3 weeks, and then goes and gets another pair. So he's contributing to the downfall of our earth on his own. Have you guys seen that? I think it's a Netflix. Is it a Netflix documentary that shows all like on the like down in around the Antarctic, the southern tip of Africa, all of the plastic and all of the clothing that's been discarded, that it's gathering around in these places where the water is swirling, right? It like captures it, and it's just all turned into guck and muck, and it's just like, when I saw that, I completely stopped shopping. I was like, oh my God, it's not just throw your stuff away. It ends up somewhere. And because all clothing is now made with plastic, with polyester, it's never going away. Cotton, if you buy 100% cotton, it will degrade and go back into dirt, but not polyester, not the rayon mixes and all that. Carolina, did that scare you? I was weirded out. I thought that is not good. Like it may not be enough right now to affect the whole globe, but if people keep doing that, it will. And the rubber on your tennis shoes isn't going anywhere. It's here forever. So, JLR, please quit buying your shoes every 3 weeks. Please. Wear socks, 100% cotton, please. And keep your shoes as long as you can because if you throw them out because you don't like the color, it's just going to end up in the ocean, poisoning fish. I haven't seen it, but I have seen fast fashion dumps, but of course, mysteriously catch on fire and burn for 10 years, right? Oh my God, it's true. Like old tires. That's what you have on your feet is tires. I miss having fabric stores when you could afford to sew your own clothes. Do you remember how much fun that was to just walk through all the fabric and choose just the right fabric, just the right print to make just the right dress or shirt that fit you perfectly, right? It was great. It was wonderful. Yeah. Uh, Bling, how are you, my friend? Is Dallas hot? He's feeding wild donkeys French fries. Do you think he cares about it? Poor donkeys. Poor old donkeys. The fast fashion industry dumping billions of gallons of toxic dye. Yeah, not to mention the dye. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I love sewing with 100% cotton. Jenny, I am committed 100% cotton for me. Everything I buy, 100% cotton, except I do have a limit here. Like if I'm gonna buy something like work clothes, which is usually something that I keep for 10, 15 years because they're an investment. But just like my bumming around clothes, like on the weekend, 100% cotton shirt, my blue jeans, cotton. Yeah, no more plastic. They also claim that when you wear clothing that's like polyester and stuff, the microplastics absorb through your skin and get in your heart. Emmy Joe, how are you, my friend? I used to make my daughter's dresses and one. Oh, that's wonderful, PJ. That's great. I hope you have 10 granddaughters so you can do the same for your granddaughters. Um, yeah, and Lauren rents her clothes. Thank you. That's true, Olaf. And until Lauren, I didn't even know that was a real thing. I didn't know that women could rent clothes. And then when I heard that, I was like, okay, what is this foolishness? And I looked it up and I was like, wow, that is actually a real thing. And I don't know that I'm fiscally, I think it's foolish. All right. Financially, it's a waste of money. But I'm also one of those people that I'm super aware when I buy my work clothes, I buy clothes that are going to stay usable for years, right? Because they are expensive. So I'm careful about what I buy there. And then for my bumming around clothes, I'm buying the cheapest thing I can get my hands on, which is going to be 100% cotton. So I think in terms of the health of the planet, I like the idea of the clothes rental. I think that's a great idea. From a financial point of view, no, I like that now I can dress and go to work and look like you're supposed to look at work, and I'm not spending any money. I don't buy clothes all the time anymore because now I have a good like wardrobe that is appropriate for anything I might need clothing for. So if I was renting clothes, I would always be renting them. You see what I mean? But I'm at a point now because I made smart choices earlier in my life. I'm at a point now I don't have to buy clothes. My daughter makes clothes from other clothing. That is cool. I love that. She made last summer were towel shorts and pants. I love that. that. That's such a great idea. Very nice. I hate asking that on other channels. It feels rude, but I'm not in Discord. What are we asking, Emmy Joe? Does anyone know if Queen Bee is coming back to YouTube? I have no idea. I didn't even know that she had any trouble. Who struck her? Never mind. I'm sure I know. Never mind. That's terrible. Yeah, you know what, random lady? Your basic, good quality black pants and a nice cardigan or jacket, and you can get away with anything, right? It's always appropriate. Now that I work from home full time, comfy is the uniform of choice, and nothing more comfortable than 100% cotton. Nothing. You have to iron it, but man, it's cozy. I had to go to a very la-ti-da wedding. It lasted 3 days, and I used Rent the Runway and got 6 fabulous outfits and then sent them right back. And Bling, I think I said that when I was covering this whole rent your clothes thing. I said that I could really see where it would be really worthwhile, financially prudent, if you were in a situation that you needed to attend multiple formal occasions, because nice formal clothing, float alone, it is expensive. So yeah, that to me, that is a really good reason to use the renting services. If something that would cost you $2,000, $3,000 for one dress, you can rent it for a couple of hundred, rent it. Yeah, 100%. It was a strike for terms of service violation. Oh, yeah, I didn't know anything about it. So she's a Emmy, Yvette saying that she's on Twitch now. Huh. Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. But look, they're all mad, y'all. The whole drama community, they're striking each other, they're taking each other to court. That it's a mess. It's a mess. So, all right. And I guess that is a great place to end this live. Bling, I'm so glad you popped in. It's great talking to you. And we need to talk soon. I'm actually with my grandkids right now, but when I get back to Texas, I'll send you a message. This is a great way to go out, that the drama community has lost its mind. And we have John fading to black. He's gone 15 minutes before Lauren looks up and says, "Where did my husband go?" And we're going to wait for Olap to find the perfect music for which to feature this little Crimecon clip gem. And until then, I hope you guys have an awesome Sunday. See you later.
Welcome to the circus, the true crime YouTube scene, where drama's the star and the facts aren't so clean. She's on her channel, she's screaming with flair. J Duck's poor Nana, her address is bare. The drama volcano, it's ready to blow. Subs grab their popcorn for the Crama show. It's Crama's true crime circus, round and round we go. Not much truth, just trauma, stealing all the show. Narcissism, borderline, maybe psychopathy, fueling all the chaos in this YouTube spree. The ladies are screeching, they're hurling those names. Snake, liar, fraud. It's their favorite game. No problems to find, no solution in sight. Just a merry-go-round of emotional fights. Subs egg it on, they're loving the mess. Trauma bonding nightly in this hot circus press. It's Crama's true crime circus. Round and round we go. Not much truth, just trauma, stealing all the show. Narcissism, borderline, maybe psychopathy, fueling all the chaos in this YouTube spree. It's a borderline's dream, this emotional ride. No facts, just feelings with nowhere to hide. They gather each night for their drama parade. Significance found in the mess that they've made. So tune in tomorrow, the circus won't stop. Crama's true crime keeps the drama on top. With insults and screams, it's a wild, wild scene. Crama's true crime circus, fighting to be YouTube's drama queen.